Hi guys, this is Alex Thompson from 365 Mag. We're here with James Edwards, who's one half of Socalled Scumbags, and we're here with Tim Cullen, who's the label manager of Grin Recordings. So yeah, would you like to first tell us a bit about Grin Recordings and the inspiration behind it, how it started, how long it's been going, and just, yeah, everything about it?
Yeah, I was playing on a boat party in Ibiza, maybe like 5 years ago, and it was a Grin Recordings boat party. And it turned out that the guys running the label all lived around the corner from my house. So I started working with them and became the label manager, and now I'm part owner of the label. And Tim's come on board as the label manager to help me out and sign, you know, great tracks from upcoming artists in London, around the UK, and also to push our own music and have an avenue for us to release our tracks and get our music out there as well.
Wow, cool. And yeah, you've been doing a lot of things recently with the label. You've been pushing it. As you said, you've got your own parties. Do you have monthly parties and things going on in London? What would you have going on in London with the record label?
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of stuff at a place called Giggleham in Clapham. It's a really cool Sunday party we've got going on down there. It's really a busy area of town, and we've had loads of guests down. We've had Paolo Mojo, we've had Jonathan Ulysses, we've had
Mark Fanciulli, Kaiser Disco. And that's just sort of been a base for us to sort of build a crowd, and all our friends are local to there, and that's been going all year, and we're going to be doing that next year. And we're also doing a record label showcase party with all our artists from the label, which is a venue called Westbourne Studios, which is in West London, and that's on the 24th of November.
So 24th of November, a good time to be in London then. Yeah. So yeah, as individuals, you're one half of Socalled Scumbags, and so how did that start? How did you get into it? What was like the driving force, and how did that begin?
I met the other Socalled Scumbag, Dave Minns. He was running a club called Inigo in London, and I did a party there, and it turned out he was playing some of my productions. So we started working together. We went to Ibiza together, which is where I met the guys from Grin Recordings. And it just went on from there. We clicked as mates, and we started DJing together a few gigs, and getting into the studio and making some tracks, and that's how it started, and it just went on from there, really.
So your relationship with like Grin Recordings and Socalled Scumbags and everything is just based on your partnership, a solid friendship that's just built and yeah, grew into something beautiful, it seems. And so yeah, how did you guys meet? How did you two get together? How are you now the label manager?
Well, we've been playing in the same scene in the London circuit for a long time, but I've always been a big fan of James's work, yeah, when was it we actually met?
I can't remember, man. I remember hearing one of your remixes of my track before we met, and I think that's how it started, because you were always remixing our tracks, and then I was like, Tim Cullen. Every time the remix came back, it's like, this is better. It's better. Every time it gets bigger and bigger. So. Eventually, when we rebuilt the label, the team kind of broke down a little bit. Not broke down, but people went their separate ways musically. So we sort of left the label quiet for about a year, and then came back at the right time to rebuild it. And as soon as that was the case, Tim was the first person I called to say, you know, do you want to come on board and help me with the label, because you can't do it on your own, and you need good people that are working in the industry. So and that's how we've started working together properly, which is about a year and a half ago.
So where do you see it going from here? Like, what are your plans here in ADE with the record label?
Well, we're signing some new tracks. We've got a few tracks coming out. Well, we've got lots of tracks coming out. We've got a collaboration, Socalled Scumbags, myself and Dave have just done with Paul Hardcastle Jr., which is coming out soon, and it's got a great remix from Tim on it, and also a remix from Traffic. Tim's got a track coming out with Duncan D. James, which is called Dirty Martini. We've got tracks from Cole Johnson coming out. We've got tracks from Ron Kushti and Jem K, an EP. And Tim's just signed a track from Richard Dinsdale, so we're looking forward to getting that out. And we're meeting with plenty of people here at ADE to discuss some collaborations and remix swaps and that kind of thing. So, you know, we've had a great year with our releases. We did a collaboration with Jonathan Ulysses from Space, who's a great guy, and we did a collaboration with Drum Fabric, which has been included, well, your mix has been included on the Amsterdam Live album with Ministry of Sound.
Yeah, that was a bit of a result, wasn't it?
So yeah, do you want to tell us about this new exciting venture, where this remix is leading you, where it's being released, and what's happening with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the best thing that's happened with Grin is that the tracks are being picked up by larger sort of companies such as Ministry and Seamless have picked up on the track as well, and it's great to see our tracks kind of spreading throughout ADE on other sort of avenues, if you know what I mean. And it's great to have people that we've always loved their work supporting our work. It's a really good buzz. So yeah, it's really good to have everything kind of all in one place.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. And I hear you have a new residency. Would you like to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's probably been 6 months now with the Ministry of Sound. I've been playing there pretty much on a monthly basis for the Saturdays alongside people like Laidback Luke. We've been playing, sort of warming up the main room, closing off the main room, and sort of kind of just feeling the crowd and making sure that the music's at the right point of that particular time of the night. And it's great to be involved with that brand, and playing in that main room is just unbelievable. I don't know if you've been there, but the sound system in that main room is just great. I mean, you could play anything through those speakers and it just sounds so crisp and clear. So to play on that on a monthly basis is just a dream come true.
So how about should we talk to the fans now? What would you like, what advice could you give to aspiring producers, people who are getting into the scene, people who want to come up, and you've been doing remixes. Is that the way to get your name out there, or is original tracks? Like, what's the advice you would give out to upcoming producers?
Well, I think mainly just do as many tracks as possible to start off with, and just meet as many people as possible and remix other people, build contacts, go to as many nights as possible. If you really love a label, go to their label nights, meet all the promoters and everybody involved, and it's all about, well, exactly what ADE is all about, just building contacts and just being nice to everyone basically, and I think that's the main thing.
So when you're in the studio, what is it that you use? Are you a hardware fan? Are you into your software? Is it Ableton? Is it Logic? Is it Cubase? How are you making your music these days?
Well, obviously to start off with, when I learned all the tricks of the trade, I was using like Akai samplers and Cubase at the time. I started off using an Atari, but now obviously everything's so easy to use under one sort of bit of software, and I'm a Logic user personally. The plugins that are built in internally to it are brilliant, and the soft synths are very easy to get hold of, and it's great to get a really clean, warm sound from just using the software, I find. So yeah, Logic's the choice for me at the moment. Yeah. Cool.
And do you have any favorite plugins that you use?
For bass, I reckon the Rob Papin Sub Boom bass is really strong for kind of it's great for hip hop and R&B stuff, but it also really works well with house as well, I think. What else? I'm getting really into using Massive for some of the synth sort of work, but mainly it's percussion that really drives the sort of music that we make.
We're big fans of the H delay and the Waves bundle. There's the H delay and the Waves bundle, and also the Brainworks EQs. I love using the Brainworks EQs. They seem to, instead of take away, they seem to add at the other end. You get much crisper sound, especially with the drums. Really getting those hi hats and those snares to get the top, but at the same time getting the power in the toms and stuff. So I like the Brainworks EQs, and most of the Wave stuff is great. And I like the battery as well, battery sampler, which is my favourite sampler to use, but whatever works for you really.
So you guys have been traveling quite a bit, you've been touring, you've played in quite a few places around Europe and around. Where has been your favourite place to play?
Well, obviously we play in London quite a lot, so we love the London crowd, but also one of our best gigs recently is probably in Poland, in Warsaw. Those guys really know how to party. I'm really looking forward to seeing Amsterdam at night, actually, through this ADE thing, because I've never been out in Amsterdam before, so it's going to be a good time tonight and the next few days, I think. But yeah, we're really looking forward to pushing the Grin brand more out of the UK. We've got a couple of things that are looking strong in Poland. I've got a gig in Sweden as well. I've got a couple of things coming up in Estonia as well. That's through the Ministry brand, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing other clubland worlds, and just sort of connecting with people from other places apart from the UK, and just spreading the Grin word as well.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Would you like to show us? Cool.